The format finally came together last night, just as I was about to sleep. It just came clear to me. You know what it's like when you're lying in the dark trying to sleep and like mind just shoots off and everything becomes clear on the question that you had. So the question that I've been having lately is that how do I put together the format of the videos? So I picked up a piece of pen and I wrote down this. Here's the vlog format. I think I found a good layout for it. But first I will just tell you a little bit. It's vlogging time. I have an idea for this screen, but this is a bit of the format. I'll show you later, not today. Okay, so what happened was last night. Anyway, if you don't want to hear this vlogging bit, just skip ahead and you can see me while I'm standing at the board. That's when I'm doing the real stuff. But yesterday about at lunchtime, we sat with two friends of mine just talking about whatever. We started talking about screen time and children and gaming time, and the colleague of mine showed me a scientific report where he saw where they have seen that children who play a lot of video games, they get socially developed and these kind of things. So it was a positive article about children playing video games, and I thought it was interesting because I've always had this picture in my mind that playing too much video game is destructive and it's not good for you. But he said that of course now the results of this was children that were really, of course, good at English for being Swedish dudes, and then cooperate in teams in highly stressed situation with a lot of noise going around. So I guess so, if they're daily trained in a war situation, animated war situation, I guess that makes sense. The format then, and yeah, what I was going to say about it was that during this lunch, one of my friends started asking about screen time, and we got one thing led to another, and he asked me like, do you have your own YouTube channel? For some reason I said, yeah, I do. So he said, what is it about? And I started telling him about the idea, and I really got into it, like I wish that I will do when I explain it in these videos later on. And he got really into it, and he asked me then, quite sincerely I felt, what's your YouTube channel? I really want to follow it. And then he gave me one tip. I said, I want to practice a lot more before I publish. And he said, do you really have to do that? And maybe he's right. Maybe I should just jump out and publish. And just publish. Well, there you are. This video is also filmed with natural light. I'm just saying this for myself. Natural light, no additional lighting, no gimbal. Just a microphone and a GorillaPod. And I'm trying the format again. I will film just real quick and then edit on the bus and upload when I get to work. So let me tell you about the format then. I have to look at my paper. Here it is. I put it on the floor so I can see it while I'm drawing. So the idea that I got is that I thought about news reports and about the vlogs that I like. And they start off with a punchline. And it's not like they say hello and welcome even. The punch, when they start, it's like, I tried to start it today. They say the format. They just hit the first or second word of the sentence needs to be what it's all about, and then everything should revolve around this. And then I said this morning, today I said like this format. The format of the videos, I think, finally came together last night, and then I want to build up the scene last night when I was in bed. You know what it's like. So always when you talk about personal experiences and you draw it out like in a characterized way, like telling a story, then it sort of sticks with you. And then I quickly show the layout, the agenda, and then I also think that this element of vlogging of telling a story from what goes on around the whole thing, just in my personal life, is interesting because a lot of vloggers do that. So I want to keep this thing rolling. And now I told you about my 10th subscriber from work. So and after this I really want to do an analogy about the punchline, like the main idea that we're talking about. So I want to do an analogy, and then after the analogy I turn to the whiteboard and just go through the theory. And then I want to hit it really. Here's like where the creative things work starts. This is my favorite part, and this is where I want to end up. And how I want this to end up, okay, I'll write it here. I want it to be intimate, emotional, intellectual, and capturing, like, I don't know if you say that. Yes, so because I know I want to bring out what's in my head. Here's me, here's my head. Yeah, here's a lot of hair. When I walk around thinking about the idea of treatise in my head, like, it's sometimes the ideas are so brilliant, but then I really need to capture them and write them down so I can bring them to the YouTube channel. But this is at least the idea. So I have a quick punchline. This is what it's about, and then like all of a sudden I have this idea of turning a light switch on that says vlog, and then I'm gonna say, like, if you're not interested in my personal affairs, just skip ahead until you see me standing on at the whiteboard, because then the real stuff happens. And then bring a good analogy about the principle. I didn't have one today, but I'll fix it later. I'll have to just make one up. And then the theory comes, and then I want to my idea with the theory part is that I build it up, and then as soon as I hit the punchline, there's like a black screen and says, I think I want to try this. I've seen this at a few vlogs. Like, you build it up and then you just cut at the very end. That was the format I was thinking about yesterday anyways. So I don't know how to make this ending. I have to think about it. It's just pretty cool, because what I wanted to do was to build it up. The format in my mind looked like a smiley face, kind of, where it just starts off in the creative goal, and then it's sort of the agenda, and then the vlogging is like very concrete, and then I start building up the theory, and then at the end the main point of it all leans back to this. And now the funny thing is, okay, you ready for this? This model, even though it sounds crazy right now, looks a bit weird, it is a treatise, in fact, where I walk through different stages and then back up again. So I will start with the intellectual abstract explanation that's contained in one symbolic word, and then I roll out the agenda and the vlog is like very easy to understand, and then the analogy comes here, and then I build up the theory, back up with this analogy, and then at the end I want to have this is the goal is to make an aha experience with the audience. So this would be the format. Here it is.